thank you all for coming out to the speeches for the MASU 2017 fall elections. My name is Olivia Bizimungu, and I'm running to be your first-year counselor. So since I moved to the SAC 4 weeks ago and began orientation, I've gotten to know a lot of cool people, but tonight I want you to get to know me a little bit more. So I had my humble beginnings with extracurricular involvement in grade 9, as I ran to be my grade's class representative on student council. Although making posters for the Halloween fair and putting on crazy costumes for Spirit Week isn't really the definition of making a change, along the years I've become aware of the most important things that one can do in a position of leadership, and I found that there are a lot of ways to make an important impact around us. So whether that meant spending 2 months going about a competent, safe, and fun way to bring dances back to a high school that had been banned for over 5 years, or starting up an international club from scratch in a community that was lacking space dedicated to the representation of diversity, I'm always ready to work towards what is important. And in these positions, it is crucial to find out what's important to the people you represent. Who you elect as first-year counselor must be an informed advocate of student concerns and issues. They're going to represent the educational, social, and personal concerns of Mount A students with an aim to improve student life. So to the incoming class of 2017, I want to be more than just your spokesperson, but also a friend. Someone you feel comfortable approaching with any question and know that if I don't have the immediate answer, will be ready, resourceful, and willing to help you find it. As your first-year counselor, I want to listen to you. I want to know what you want, what we need, and find out how we can all get there together. After all, we're here for a good time, not a long time, so let's make sure we are making the most of it every step of the way. Thank you for listening, and I hope you will trust me with your vote next week to be your first-year counselor.
Good evening, fellow students. My name is Ryan Karimi, and tonight I'd like to announce my candidacy for the position of first-year counselor. Now, to start off, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm from Vancouver on the West Coast, but right now my home is in the Bennett House. I spent 5 years working on my school's student government on projects ranging from establishing clubs and societies fair to rewriting some government protocols to streamlining our recycling and composting systems. In grade 12, I served as the VP of Student Life, and in my spare time, I was involved with Model UN, but nowadays I mostly just try to impress the people in my dorm by playing Wonderwall all the time. In writing the speech, I really did have to ask myself, what do I have to offer to the first years of my family? I think it would be easy to make unrealistic promises like I'd like to cancel finals for all first years. But in the current political climate of the world, I feel like honesty and transparency are more important now than ever. So here we go, the honest spiel. My job as the first-year counselor would be listening to your concerns, working with you to develop solutions to those problems, and advocating for those solutions in the council. And though I can't offer years of experience with the Mount A system, here's what I can bring to the table. My most important quality as a candidate is my ability to, for lack of a better phrase, shut up and listen to them. In my opinion, it's a crucial trait for me. In other words, I'll take your problems and concerns seriously and present them accurately and unbiased. And I think it's no secret that people have a tendency to enjoy complaining. I mean, everyone needs a good rant sometime, myself included. For example, in my grade 12 year, I kept hearing complaints about how our school's retest policy was very unfair. And after hearing the same complaint multiple times, I drafted a new retest policy which got rid of the loopholes and made it more favorable to cheat than to fail honestly. So I think one of my greatest strengths is taking complaints and translating them into solutions that can actually be implemented. Now, I remember what it was like to go through high school feeling like students didn't really have a voice. But the same really can't be said about Mount A. It's a powerful thought that the idea or concern of a single first year can be brought to council and change the way we do things at this university tangibly and permanently. And the thought of being the person to help make that happen is exciting. Thank you.
I've come to be known around campus as the girl in the sling, so I'm happy to formally introduce myself. I'm Loretta Bedgood, and I'm a second-year PE student on campus. Going along with the interdisciplinary education here at Mount A, I'm really looking for a well-rounded social life here on campus. That's why I chose to come to this school, and I think the MASU can offer that for me, where I'd be able to affect change on campus and help my peers in many facets through one organization. So that's why I decided to run this year for first-year counselor. As running for counselor, my first point of interest is accessibility. So having a sling, I've had to work with the Mean Center for the first time this semester, and it's kind of opened up my eyes about the accessibility issue for disabled students on campus. I know that's a really hot topic right now, and the MASU is working toward rectifying lots of the problems. In the Human Resources Committee, they do have a accessibility coordinator who I'd like to work with if elected to sort of further the accessibility on campus. Secondly, throughout my campaign, the majority of off-campus students I spoke with felt kind of negatively or really indifferent toward the MASU. And I felt that there was a real disconnect, like they think that the MASU was only directed toward residents, students. So I'd really like to work to be more inclusive with the off-campus students. Thirdly, this ties into my third point a lot. I'm interested in communication. I'd like to sit on the communications committee and work with those people. And my first role in that could be perhaps searching for more off-campus students to fill the remaining roles for counselor at large where we are missing people. And finally, I'm interested in mental health. It's something I hold close to my heart. I'm on the Change Your Mind committee here at school, which deals with mental health awareness. And I'd like to work with that. So thank you all, and good luck to my fellow candidates, and I hope to chat with you more later on.
Good evening, everybody. I am Amina Simmons. I'm running for Counselor at Large. I am a second-year international student from Bermuda. I am also one of the social chairs for Northern House this year. I am running for this position because firstly, I love to help. In order to be in any type of leadership position, I believe that you have to be able to be willing to serve. Like mentioned in my campaign video, one of my favorite quotes by Gandhi is, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." A few words to describe myself would be committed, honest, straightforward, determined, reliable, lit, consistent, positive, encouraging, well-organized, efficient, self-motivated, and assertive. I also believe that I have great communication and listening skills. Before I started Mount Allison, I was the president of the student government at my high school. I was also the head clerk of youth parliament and served as a leader in many other clubs and societies. So I believe that I have what it takes to be in this position. If elected as Counselor at Large, I vow to represent my peers the best way I can and to be an advocate for my peers. Always remain easy to talk to. I will try my best to make MTN even better university than it is now. I will leave you with this quote. Leadership is not about a title or a designation. It's about impact, influence, and inspiration. Impact involves getting results. Influence is about spreading the passion you have for your work, and you have to inspire teammates. That was by Robin Sharma.
Being established, I'd like to introduce myself as Tara Wilkinson. I'm an international third-year biology student. I'm from the Bahamas, born and bred. I've always been passionate about helping people, making a difference. That's why I intend on going to the University of the West Indies to become a geneticist. I've always prided myself in being the person who would do anything and everything that they could for others. And when the opportunity arose for me to be the chair and mental health representative of my residence, I seized it. I've never once hesitated to helping others. That's why I've always prided myself in being very open-minded, straightforward, and sometimes blunt. The foundation of my platform is equity and accountability. In terms of equity, there's a stigma that needs to be eradicated on this campus. I'm a part of the BSU, the Black Student Union, and I will act as a liaison between both unions, as well as support those who feel that they are marginalized. Speaking from my personal experience, being held in a lower regard from my counterparts can be very discouraging. In order to succeed to my fullest potential, I find that I sometimes have to try twice as hard to be half as good. Thus, equity is definitely an important part of my platform. In terms of accountability, I ensure that the intended goals of the unions are carried out. I believe that the student unions must be fair and impartial, as well as accountable for meeting the needs of the student body to the best possible degree. The MASU's Counselor at Large is here to represent their constituents on all general needs. I will be the voice of the people for the people. I will make a difference. I will make a difference with every vote and decision made. And I will always be the best person that I possibly can. And I will leave you with this quote. The man who moves mountains begins by carrying one small stone, and every stone counts.